It's like, you guys could have kept it more interesting and actually gave us an experience of being a knight or a noble lord, or at least someone who's an attendant to a knight and noble lord, and gave us that experience in the game. And that would have been a much more interesting simulator. It said you basically start from ground zero again because the game forces you down some silly path and you have to grind your way back up. And I'm not interested in that. Hey, Outlaws. So, my live stream's still processing, so I apologize and looks good, but I just want to get my initial thoughts out there. Now, I'm probably going to be the minority. I don't care. Okay? Look, reality is, I'm going to start off right off the bat. Just crank it out. That way, if you're not in agreement with me, you're going to know immediately. I play video games for fun. I don't play video games to bust my balls over and over again. I don't play video games because I want to learn a video game skill and be really get good. I gotta get good at it, bro. I do that stuff in real life, man. I fight in real life. I fight with swords in real life. I fight with armor in real life. Hell, I tried HEMA for the first time this weekend. Actually, did pretty damn good. So I don't play video games for that kind of crap, man. I don't. Okay, I want my video games to be fun. I don't need to have like the huge immersion shit. And it's like a lot of people, I don't know if they want that stuff or they've been convinced it's there, but it's just not for me. So that's where I'm coming from. Like, I spend a lot of time training with giant swords, training in the gym, training to go fight in the weekends with my viewer practice, I started HEMA practice, I guess, all sorts of stuff. So when I play a game like this, I want to have fun. I want the option of like, hey, would you like to go through this ridiculous learning curve? No, turn it off. And I think that's, for me, is what kills this sequel. Because it's like you've already went through all that crap with Henry in the first game. Why not give me the option and also brand new people who maybe just aren't interested in that kind of crap? Because that's what kind of killed it the first game too, is a lot of people are like, I don't really want to deal with this. They didn't care about the politics and all that stuff. And they were willing to give it a chance afterwards. But it's like, because first game had a lot of problems right off the bat. Just tons of problems. And honestly, this game, although better, is also having some issues. There was a point where I noticed I caught up on a band, I started swinging on him, and Henry's blade just wasn't registering hits because the locked-on system wasn't there. And the combat system, I don't care who you are, that is not how combat works, okay? Fought with swords, a lot. Fought in armor, a lot. That's not how it works, okay? Especially like when this game loves to force you to fight multiple opponents because, again, they're trying to simulate that you're trapped and surrounded by bandits, you gotta be careful. Get it? Still sucks, still super annoying. So you're like forced to like this weird, awkward, locked on movement thing going on. Like, that's not how it works, man. People are a lot more fluid than that. And we're fighting multiple opponents. You want to trip them up and force them to go along with you. This game doesn't do that. This game just allows them to just like kind of float towards you and get in good little hits and whatnot. All right. Anyways. So it starts, this is obviously spoilers. There were lots of spoilers. It starts with a siege. Lots of cool stuff, man. You got Trebuchet, like this guy's like, Trebuchet! You play this guy named Godwin, who, I don't know if he survives or not, but I messed around a little bit. I explored it. There's a tiny little castle that you're in. You get to look around. You can have like a little crossbow that you go around and shoot the enemy at. Here, I'll show you a picture right here. So you got like this cool crossbow here. Boom. You have to reload it. Okay, and that's not bad. This kind of realistic versions, I don't mind. Okay, it's a lot more fun. They're already broken through, so it was already too late to whatever. I try to shoot at a guy. Boop. Try to lead it. I missed. Whatever. That's fun. That's okay. What's not fun is having to learn how to and click the weird buttons and crap, which when I first played the first game, I played it with the console, so I was able to move that little arrow, the 5-star arrow system, with the right thumbstick and then click attack with this. With this on a PC, you have to like move it and click, and it's kind of annoying because you're also trying to look around at the same time. So it's just not very intuitive for me. So the siege ends. You start over. It's you, Hans Capon, and 4 guys, and you obviously are playing as Henry, all properly geared up. Again, all properly geared up. You make some choices to let people know what kind of play style you want to have, and you go from there. You have some inner dialogue with the guys, whatever. You make a really stupid, blatantly, obviously dumb decision to go park yourselves at a pond, and that's what kind of ticks me off. Is it makes you, Henry and Hans Capon, as idiots parked next to a pond. It's like, that's not very smart. This group of 20 dudes just came out, storming out of the castle, almost wanted to kill you, told you that you were considered enemies of his kingdom, and then you and your merry band of 6 people are going to go park yourselves out in the open in a pond where you were just told that there's bandits and you need a group of 20 dudes? So the game has to, like, it's like no one really thought through the storyline. They didn't want to mature it. Surprise, surprise, you guys get schwacked because Hans is like a frat boy and is like, hey, let's go spy on the girls taking a bath. There's just some random girls taking a bath. You and Henry strip down, and you're like, he's a little weird with it. He's like, come on, Henry, let's go strip. Nope, straight man talks like that, okay? Wait, he's not straight anymore, of course. Silly me. But anyways, I'm not even going to talk about that controversy. So you play around, you wander around, and you find a bunch of girls doing their thing. Whatever, it's human nature. Your boys get attacked and schwacked because, again, they're out in the open. So they get freaking overran. You and Hans are like, oh, we got to get out of here. Henry decides to be like, hey! Again, that's the stupidest thing. It's like, Henry, you are butt naked, middle of a hostile enemy territory. Remember, this is hostile enemy territory. The people in the castle said they consider you enemies. They'll let you in, but they consider you enemies. They also told you there wasn't bandits lying around. And Henry, for some reason, just like, I've got to save this girl. Hey! And newsflash, skip ahead. Again, spoilers. She doesn't give a damn that you saved her life. She pretends to ignore you. Then she pretends to know what you're talking about. And even after that, she's like barely gives you some advice, gets angry at you when Henry like hey, hold on. He gets angry at you and then storms off. Henry, if you guys like that, Henry loses all of his skills. So you start off actually pretty good to go. But then he loses it. Again, I'm sorry for the quality images. It's still being processed. Henry loses it. All of his skills, all stat points, because he got shot by an arrow as he's swimming away. Pierces his lung, by the way. Don't know how he survives it. And then later on in the game, like a half an hour later after a little grand adventure, which again, this part was still fun. All this is still kind of fun. It's kind of silly and hokey and dumb, but it's still fun, right? That port part, fun. But you lose all your stats, and the reason is because Henry feels embarrassed or he feels less confident because we got such a sound thrash. It's like, yes, you guys were idiots. You had a sick band of 6 dudes, and you decided to park yourselves next to open space, next to a pond, in extremely hostile territory. If the bandits didn't get you, the people from the castle probably would have come and swacked you because someone with political influence just doesn't want you around with your letter. And it just seems like it was created by the creators of Warhorse just to simply allow the plot to happen. Something of convenience. Like you have to dumb down your main characters. Now, the whole getting away part, that was cool. You meet up with an old lady. Again, it's still interesting story. Not the smartest, but it is interesting. You basically have to help her get Hans all healed up. You kind of have a little purgatory moment with your quote unquote father, not father. But after all that's said and done, you and Hans heal up, and that's where the silliness begins. Hans goes back. You and him go to the castle that you guys were aiming for. See, there's you all beat up. You and Hans finally get to that castle. They tell you to go away. They throw a crap bucket on Hans. And then you guys are forced to go back to the village. And then you have to do chores to make money. Now, again, this isn't too bad. It's still kind of dumb. You're starting over, and it's like kind of a challenge. Like, okay, how can you and Hans get to the wedding? Well, surprise, surprise, Hans is going to do a little weird, moody breakup thing with you, because God forbid the developers actually work hard and make it so you actually have a companion with you. Hans, like, imagine the fun you can have if Hans is constantly with you throughout the entire game. Like, it's not that much of a stretch, and it would make it more interesting. Like, we've already done the solo adventure, one-man knight army crap the first game. Why not expand, make something new in the second game? So anyways, you're over here, and you're literally doing chores, like literally grabbing sacks of flour and carrying it inside this lady's tavern to pay for your bills. And what does Hans do? He picks a fight with a local noble lord after you literally just told him, hey, I got the way we can get inside. And he's sitting right there as you're talking to all these people. And this is where you guys end up. And then immediately right after that, Hans gets all mad, cranky, tells you to F off. He leaves. You tell him to F off, or you don't. It's up to you. And you guys split ways. This is a very appropriate facial expression for ridiculous stupidness. And then from there, you are forced into chore mode. You start completely over in a new land, hostile territory, and you suck. And it is infuriating because I understand if you had to sneak around a little bit. There's not a lot of space in all these paths. So you have to be hardcore stealth mode. I don't want to be stealth mode. I want to fight. And what's interesting is I immediately go out and all of a sudden all these bandits are really good at fighting. And they did introduce some new fighting mechanics and whatnot. There's also a mission where you have to go way out in the middle of freaking nowhere. And there's a lot of dead space in this game. Don't think it's like all packed full of fun and adventure. There's a lot of empty forest space. Just empty space. Completely. Like nothing there. Someone in the comment sections on Steam was like, oh my god, you feel like the world is so alive. No, you don't. No, you don't. It does not feel alive. Again, it felt like Big Daddy Deep Silver told Warhorse, hey, not only do you got to make it more progressive, and I'll get to that part in just a second, but you also need to make it like open world, super hyper huge world map. We want bigger maps. No, we don't. We players want smaller maps with more activity going on in the middle. So I literally had to go from this tiny town way out in the middle of here to nomads, basically just go find a bunch of gypsies, have a weird little premonition thing, and find some guy named Master Tomcat who ironically reminds me of someone on my Bureau team for some reason. And you learn to fight from him. He shows you a couple skills, but it's really just like, oh, right, left. Woo, groundbreaking stuff, guys. And then nothing. You go around the camp. The camp guy, there's some lady there is like, oh, I have a premonition. You are here to save us, to help us understand what's going on. Yeah, like, see this? See this? This is a lot of open space. Nothing is going on here. And you have to traverse all this annoying open space. And then this guy sends you. Yeah, here's the dude, Master Tomcat. Let's see if I can get a picture of him. There he is. This is like this guy's most interesting part about the entire game. So then you have to go find the master, the basically the owner, the leader, master, whatever. He has some weird name of the camp, and go find his daughter. And then the lady, the herbalist who helped you at the beginning, her daughter also ran off. So you have to go find her. But you also have to go find your dog, who will help smell all the scents, and then go help you find them. Or say screw the dog and just go run around to these far-reaching towns to go hopefully find the girls there that way. Problem is, all these paths are, once again, like I mentioned earlier, are packed full of bandits who are way more skilled at fighting than you and are just going to schwack you. I want to have fun, okay? And I don't appreciate the ridiculously long open spaces, and there is a lot of them. Like, to get to this guy, I had to run for like 10 minutes through a bunch of bush and hills and trees. It wasn't fun. I didn't want to do that. So I don't understand why they don't have anything against. Now, if you're good, like I said, this is a get good game. If you're already gotten good at the first Kingdom Come, and that's just your bag, baby, you probably would do better than me at the combat system. I'm not get good at the combat system. Okay, I'm get good at real life, not get good here. But again, this thing where it's like, oh my god, this world is so alive. It's really not. It's really just more of the same from the first game. And that's it. I have yet to see anything in this game that's like, wow, that's really amazing. This is so much different than the first game. There's nothing here like that at all. And it's like, you guys could have kept it more interesting and actually gave us an experience of being a knight or a noble lord, or at least someone who's an attendant to a knight and noble lord, and gave us that experience in the game. And that would have been a much more interesting simulator. It said you basically start from ground zero again because the game forces you down some silly path and you have to grind your way back up. And I'm not interested in that. And not interested in the one-man army known as Henry. I would rather have a group adventure. Or be given the opportunity and the option to like, hey, we really recommend you do this to grind and get the full experience of the game. But would you actually like to keep all your skills and stats because, your Henry won't be a knucklehead? I would have said yes. So overall, I'm not enjoyed. In fact, I stopped my live play after a while because I just got frustrated because I got sick and tired of being killed over and over again. Like you said, look, you can see a lot of this. It's just me running through bush, having to go through stupid cutscenes because I kept getting schwacked by these damn bandits. And it's like, one of the bandits is a guy, see if I can find him with the pavis. He has, there he is right there. So he has a metal cap on, a metal coif, a metal shirt hauberk. He's got brigandine style band braces, gloves, axe, a big ass pavis shirt, full hauberk. He's ready to go. And he just absolutely curb stomps you over and over again. So honestly, my initial reaction is not good. I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying it. I think there's a lot of people out there that are just all about that. I'm not. I don't enjoy it. I think the first part was great. If you had stuck with that, a little more scripted scenes. I'm not opposed to scripted scenes. I want that. I like that. More condensed fun. And if you have to make it a little bit more linear, that's fine. I don't mind that because I don't want to waste my time that I have. Because again, I don't have a lot of spare time. I don't waste my time running in a freaking bush or a forest, hunting down my dog. I don't care. I'd rather do doing more interesting, fun, and important things. So this whole it feels alive. It's an open world. No, yeah, it's an open world, right? But it does not feel alive. It does not feel alive at all. Okay, I don't have a lot of good stuff to say about it. I'll keep playing it after I calm down. But not my favorites, that's for sure. See you next time.